Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL. I am Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. We have literally just come from Incheon Airport to the studio now. We were just at BlizzCon. We hope you enjoyed the cast. It's good to be back, though. I miss doing the GSL.
You know, we may be tired and we may smell, but we'll do anything for the GSL.
It's true. We got a lot of exciting games. We're in the round of 32 now. We already did one day yesterday. By the way, we hope you enjoyed our substitutes. I think they did a great job.
Absolutely.
I reviewed the majority of the games while we were at BlizzCon at night after the cast. I was really happy with them. So, again, thank you to all of our substitutes who came in, especially Jason Lee, who did a lot of hard work. I think he was great.
He was. He's a great commentator.
Good commentator. So going on to today's games, we got 4 best of 3s for you guys, which we're going to get up in just a little bit. But let's talk about our first matchup. It's going to be San Zenith against Czech Prime. I think this is going to be one of the closer matchups we have today.
Yeah, it looks like, in my opinion, the matchup of the day where I really can't say who's going to win it.
Yeah.
San Zenith has been doing a lot better recently. Czech, of course, a very famous old-school Warcraft 3 pro. So both very good. Both got pretty far last season, pretty deep.
Yeah.
But, there have been a few buffs to Zerg. So I feel like, Czech is going to be playing a lot better ZVP than he was before.
Yeah.
But that's been his hard matchup for a while. So we'll have to wait and see, Tasteless.
Only time can tell. By the way, the GSL, the largest StarCraft 2 tournament in the world, largest prize pool of, $87,000 for first place. That's pretty baller. And, of course, second place gets $30,000. It goes down from there. Also, by the way, special thanks to our sponsors, Sony Ericsson. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. And thank you, everybody at home, for tuning in. Please feel free to check out our premium service. It's a pretty good deal. I mean, if you don't have time to watch all these games live, if you have a sleep schedule like a normal person, you might not be able to see these games. So recommend to your friends, if they're not able to watch this stuff, just purchase that premium service. All the money does go to improve the stream.
Yeah, and a lot of people at BlizzCon came up to me and said, you know what, I lose a lot of sleep because of you in the GSL.
We are destroying lives in the GSL. People failing out of classes, guys showing up late for work.
A big round of applause for you guys out there who miss a lot of sleep for us. Now, this is what happened on Friday in the first round of GSL round of 32. We had Sangho take out Phoenix Ware, and Snare took out Rain. Kyrix Zenith took out Ace 2-1. I'm a little bit surprised about that, I have to say. And then Hope Torture, of course, took out Pip Jung.
I think it's going to be a pretty sick game for today's matches. We got San Zenith against Czech Prime. Of course, San Zenith, pretty solid player from the previous season. Czech Prime, very famous Warcraft 3 player. And then we have Lee Knock. Hope I'm saying that right. I'm not butchering it. It's Lee Knock against next. You do it. You say it. Suoshin. I don't want to butcher that.
Nada versus Park Chung Hyuk. And Idra against OGS Gone. I'm getting more excited now. We have a lot of Zergs playing today. 4 in all. Only one non-Zerg matchup, and that's a Nada matchup, so I don't even care. I feel like I have my 7th wind.
There you go, man. I'm so excited to see Idra play today. Obviously, I was a little bit nervous. He is my teammate. He is my little nerd, and I'm hoping that he's going to do well.
Oh, I'm not nervous. This kid going to raffle stomp OGS Gone. LOL.
Dude, guys, so cool to be down here. We're going to get a shot of our players in just a minute here for these individuals who are playing first, San Zenith and Czech Prime. Tell us a little bit about San Zenith.
Well, San Zenith, he is the guy who eliminated Torch.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. He beat Hyperdub in the last round, who was the guy who beat TLO in the first tournament. So we've been seeing a lot of these hated players go up against each other. But San Zenith is actually getting really good. Yeah. Last season, he showed some skills. He was pretty good. But he was kind of a step behind the mid-level Protosses of that season, I felt. Kind of in the lower tier of Protosses. Yeah. But this season, he's been one of the better Protosses that I've seen play. He's really improved his game. He's stepped it up a big notch. So that's San Zenith for you, Tasteless.
San Zenith, quite a beast. By the way, Czech Prime, of course, as I said before, top Warcraft 3 player. Not the most known of the Korean Warcraft 3 players because, of course, we have people like Fav, Moo, and many others. But Czech Prime still a very, very high-end War 3 player.
Yeah, still, I would say, almost legendary. He's done a great job in War 3, and he's doing a great job in StarCraft 2.
Oh, yeah, man.
One of the hardest working players in the entire world. This guy has played a ridiculous amount of games. He wants to make it big before he goes off to the Army. So, Czech, an awesome Zerg, no doubt about it.
Let's get a shot of our players head-to-head here. San Zenith and Czech Prime. We actually competed against Czech Prime in a tournament in Shanghai.
That's right.
USA, Korea, and
that
Japan.
Guy,
USA, Korea, and China, excuse me, all duking it out.
That's right. He's quite a good player, and as you see, beat Nex Garnett 2-0. We actually missed that game while we were at BlizzCon, so I don't really have a lot of recent games of Czech that I've seen, at least not for the past 3 weeks or so. And I must say that Czech, his one big weakness is economy management.
Oh, yeah.
He's really a strategician, no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. Micro impeccable, too.
Yeah, very good micro. But I think most of his play is strategy. We see the maps here: Delta Quadrant, Scrap Station, Zelnaga Caverns. And, well, Delta Quadrant, that's going to be a very hard map. Scrap Station, pretty good. Zelnaga, pretty good. But as I was saying, I think that the key here for San Zenith is to play a macro game with Czech.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's where Czech will lose, is the macro game. Maybe a very strong, 140 supply Colossus 2 base timing push, something like that. Maybe even expanding more than that, but I think that's where Czech will be very weak. We've seen in the past in his games, he doesn't really quite drone as well as the best Zergs like Fruit Dealer, like Hydra, so therefore he won't have quite as many units, or he'll have weird boosts of units at different times, but really, Czech, his weakness, economy management. If San Zenith knows this, he can go ahead, do a very defensive macro game, and he'll be in a good position. So that's what I think about that.
I think you're totally right, especially your pointer about Czech's macro management. He does seem to struggle with having balanced amount of drones in the patches. We're starting, so let's get ready for San Zenith against Czech Prime.
Don't have that cough button here.
Don't have that. We had a cough button at BlizzCon. We could actually press that down any time. Cough all we wanted. By the way, it was so nice to meet so many of you guys out there. It was a real pleasure.
The fans were absolutely great.
So awesome.
I loved having some words, chit-chatting.
All right, so down here at the bottom left, we have a very well-known player. His name is?
San Zenith.
That's right. Over here at the top left, a top 4-3 pro. He has played a ton of games since the beta. He's a real grinder. He is
Czech Prime.
Now, these are pretty close positions, and it's going to be hard to defend the natural against a timing push from Protoss for Czech. I'm interested to see, though, exactly how our Protoss player wants to open this up. And he may be opening up with a couple gateways. That's going to be my guess here. Forge expands, not as good nowadays, especially on something as wide open as this. The ramp is very far away from the front of the natural, and therefore you have to be careful about that.
Now, of course, there is another expansion over here, but as you can see, there's destructible debris here. These have to be taken out, so the Zerg can't expand to the back of his base. So if the Zerg does go for a quick hatchery over here, and assuming our Protoss does 2-gate, it's going to be very tough for the Zerg to stop.
But it looks to me like we may even see, could it be a Nexus first from our Protoss player? I don't know. That's a little bit weird. He hasn't gone down to build anything yet. It seems like he's really pulling his minerals. Maybe checking to see when the pool goes up for Czech to decide exactly what he wants to do, whether 1-gate, 2-gate, Forge, Nexus, that type of thing. But it looks like it is time to decide. And it's Forge. Okay. So this is pretty interesting. The thing is, if you go Forge, we've seen some people trying this lately, there is a lot of surface area that you're going to have to cover with cannons. And so he is going to make another pylon there. So he may just make a little semi-small row of cannons up there, maybe 3 cannons to cover everything against any sort of aggression from Czech Prime. But that is really expensive to do before making a Nexus.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by this as well. It does look like he's just going to wait for that second pylon to finish, squeeze out a Nexus as soon as possible. Cannons first here. I don't feel like this is the most efficient way to do a fast expand here. I feel like he actually had a window to do a Nexus and then get cannons here.
He may do 2 into it. No, there it is, 3. Just as I said, I am so smart.
You are so smart.
But yeah, it's going to take at least those 3 to really block off his expansion. But that is 450 minerals of cannons and 150 of a forge. That is so much money tasteless. I don't know. It's hard to say whether or not this is the greatest way to set up an expansion on this map.
I mean, the whole point of Protoss is taking expansions very quickly is they can probe up and get ahead so quickly. And the Zerg, of course, is forced to either do something that's very all-in-ish or double expand, which can be tough if you're a Zerg that doesn't have that kind of experience.
Oh,
and oh my God, what the hell?
It's in the way of a Nexus.
I see now. Yeah, I see exactly. You're totally right. The Nexus should be there. Oh God, I want to cover my eyes. This is painful to see.
It is.
That is embarrassing.
That is about as sad as you can get right there.
Whoa, talk about a blunder.
Yeah.
We're at the round of 32 and guys are blocking their Nexuses off.
And as you see, Zergling has been attacking that cannon, takes out that probe, and runs away. So yeah, now he's spent another 150 minerals, and then another 300 on 2 more cannons. In the meantime, Czech just making some roaches, and Czech not making a hatchery yet. A little bit confused here by Czech's play.
He's going to go and try to break down the entrance early on. I think it might have been safer to just go ahead and expand because...
Yeah, this is actually a completely terrible idea by Czech.
Yeah, I don't like this at all.
Normally he's just so strategical, but still producing a lot of roaches. In fact, he got supply capped there for a moment and had to make that Overlord. Now is making more roaches. But he is not making any sort of hatchery. Look at this. He just wants to break through. Here come the roaches. They're going for this forge, and there you have it. He's going to be able to kill this forge quite easily. And Senzen is going to have to bring down every probe he has.
He's going to wall in over here.
But he's not bringing down every probe he has. I guess he doesn't want to lose the probes. He just wants to lose the game.
The roaches are in the main. Roach is very strong against probes. And, of course, he's already wasted money making those 2 pylons. This is so bad for the Protoss. This could very well cost him the game because, don't forget, the roaches can actually get over here.
Yeah.
With their increased range, right?
The game is basically over now. I cannot believe that he thought that would work with that many cannons on a map with such a wide natural as this.
Yeah,
and
it's so weird.
Also, the fact that he didn't bring the probes to block the ramp, I mean, that is like unbelievable.
This is pretty painful, man. Czech Prime just going to try to get anything behind. All right, this is basically checkmate here.
Czech Primate.
Czech Primate, yeah.
It's a monkey.
All right, one zealot's out here. And as I said before, see, you can just put the roaches up here.
Yeah.
Expect GG. There it is. GG. San Zenith, completely disastrous strategy there.
Yeah, that was...
I did not expect the game to end that quickly or to look like that at all.
When he made that many cannons, I kind of assumed that he would have that ramp blocked off better. You know, have something in range to stop anything like that from happening. So it seemed like Czech was being kind of dumb making all those units instead of taking an expansion against someone who spends 1,000 minerals on photon cannons.
Well, but the opening was so weird because I thought for sure he was going to go 2-gate. You're going forge first. It's the same problem as what we've seen on Xel'Naga Caverns. Like it's hard to get an expansion up. If you do get an expansion up, you should expect to be making so many cannons. You're not really going to be able to tech very quickly.
Yeah, and spending 1,000 minerals on cannons not a good idea. If you do and you're not blocking the forge, what?
I have to keep talking. I got to change some settings over here.
Alrighty.
This is actually completely different than what I was used to.
That's all right, Taste. You go right ahead. But
all right, go ahead.
Kind of surprised with how bad an opening that was.
Yeah.
San Zenith, what the heck, man? Like, did you practice for this match? Did you ever do this build before?
Well, he blocked the Nexus with the cannon, too.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget about that. I mean, that is such a waste of time. Czech Prime's strategy was a little bit riskier. There's definitely a safer way to go about handling that. But then again, a win is a win.
No, I mean, it
like
worked out.
A rose is a rose. A win is a win is a win.
When someone's actually making a bunch of cannons in front, I would just... I don't know. I did not even look as the commentator to see if he was going to block off that forge from being killed. But he didn't. Looks like we're going to start the next game.
Let's get ready for game number 2. Let's see if San Zenith can come back. That was a pretty crushing defeat.